What's good with it, guys? It's your boy D Scott back at it with the fight dramatics on Hardcore Casual MMA. Today, we're going to recap UFC 320, the main card mostly, and get into it, break down the fallout and the aftermath that took place. Fantastic card. Great to watch. I'll definitely be glad though when we don't have to pay all this money for these pay-per-views and they switch over to Paramount and it's just a monthly subscription. But anyways, other than that, Ankalaev versus Pereira was the main event on this card. Great fight. Pereira wanted all the smoke. He had to get that get back, but we're gonna get into that. So let's get into this main card and let's break it down. Let's get it. Then on the main card, Pyfer, speaking of which, submitted Abus Magamedov in the second round. Relatively easy fight for Pyfer. Uh Magamedov didn't offer much resistance. Pyfer just pressed his way forward with pressure and got control on the ground, used his wrestling to chase the submission, and got Magamedov out of there. I thought the fight would be a lot more. I thought it would be a lot more competitive, but Pyfer is showing his progression and his improvement, and definitely look forward to seeing Pyfer's next fight. Then we had Josh Emmett versus the up and coming Youssef Zalal on the in the featherweight division. Youssef Zalal went in on early in the first round. His first uh first attempt at a takedown, got it, and was getting the armbar. Didn't even really have the full armbar. Well, I guess he had it, but he didn't extend it all the way. And Emmet knew that he couldn't get out of that. And before he took any damage to his limbs or his arm, he went ahead and tapped. Man, Youssef Salal is another prospect we got to keep our eyes on in the featherweight division. He's wanting to fight for the title right now. He says he's ready and he looks it. It'll be interesting to see who they give him next in the featherweight division, but maybe we'll talk about that later on another podcast. But Yusuf Salah, keep your eye out for him. Took out the vet Josh Emmett, who is no slouch, no run over, walkover, but Salah made it look easy, easy work. On up, then the Coco main event, Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Rountree. Hell of a fight, hell of a fight. They came out in the first and second rounds, and just Khalil Rountree, which I predicted in my fight would be a lot more technical and better on the feet than Yuri Prochazka. So in the first couple rounds, um, Khalil Rountree was just breaking down Yuri tactically, heavy leg kicks, body kicks, landing his combinations, his jab, his cross, and basically having his way with Yuri. And then the third round came along, and Yuri has an X factor. And if you watched him fight, you know this X factor that Yuri has, and it is chaos. When the fight gets chaotic, when he presses and forces his opponent to strike with him and puts him up against the fence or um just forces them to throw at him, 9 times out of 10, Yuri comes out the winner. And I think Yuri was trying to, after the loss to Pereira, he kind of rethought some of his strategy and technique, and he wanted to get better training and train with actual coaches and work on his technique. And he's tried that, but he came to the realization last night that he just has to create the chaos and find the calm in the chaos, as he stated. And that's his game. It was amazing. Like I thought, looking at those first 2 rounds, it looked bad for Yuri, but in the back of my mind, I knew that if Yuri went all out, which is only a matter of time, he's going to give it an effort. He's going to push forward in every fight. When the fight's not going his way, he's good at making it ugly and finding finding his finish and finding his opponent in those chaotic circumstances. Press forward, got Rountree against the cage. Um, Started throwing all kinds of damage. I mean, hooks, uppercuts, knees, elbows, everything you could think of. And Khalil just whipped it. He could not keep up with Yuri's pace. And Yuri caught him with a beautiful left hook, and it dropped Khalil Rountree cold, flat on the mat, and it was over. So Yuri is asking for the title shot. He wants the title shot. He wants another chance at Pereira, which we all know that Carlos Oldberg is supposed to be the next title fight. But you never know with the UFC. It could be Carlos Oldberg versus Yuri, then them two fight for the title. It may be a vacant fight for the title because also, as we're gonna talk about, Pereira is still looking to move up the heavyweight and cement himself and his legacy in the UFC to maybe be the GOAT of the UFC. He's already a living legend. He's already created a lot of motion and a lot of fandom behind his name in such a short period of time in the UFC by having spectacular performance, spectacular knockouts, back to back. Came back against Magamed and did his thing. But yeah, Yuri and Pereira, I I wouldn't mind seeing that again. Let me know what you guys think. I wouldn't mind, but Yuri has had 2 shots at Pereira, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this light heavyweight division shakes out and how it unfolds. Up next, the co-main event of the evening, Merab the Machine, the Wallace Whitley drags Corey Sandhagen. Sandhagen came out in the first round and looked good, man. I was like, oh, we might have a fight on our hands, And he looked good on the feet. He was defensively responsible. He was finding Merab on the feet with his jab, um, utilizing the low kicks, hooks, and but in that second round, Merab turned on the burners. He upped the ante and he wanted smoke. So he came out and put the pressure on Corey Sandhagen and started his relentless wrestling. And Corey Sandhagen did the best that I've seen anyone do against Merab, but it still was not enough. Corey Sandhagen fought a great fight, but Merab came out in the second round and caught Sandhagen on the feet with a flurry and almost got Sandhagen up out of the fight. Thankfully, Mark Goddard didn't step in and call the fight off, which he is known to sometimes prematurely step in and cut the action, but he didn't. He held his wits about himself, let Corey Sandhagen fight his way out and get through that. But the wrestling was just too much. Corey Sandhagen couldn't get a lot started, and he needed a lot more pressure and to throw a lot more. But Merab coming in with those takedowns just disrupts everything. Nobody has found an answer to disrupt Merab's takedowns, and he's still good on the feet. And you can't be lax on the feet with him because he could still find you and shown that he has TKO power on the feet. And the only way to beat Merab is to just go and finish him. That's it. No, you're not gonna win a decision. You're damn sure not gonna out wrestle him, and he's gonna give you hell on the feet. So I don't know. In my opinion, Merab is the bantamweight goat. There's nothing else to say. It's incredible what he's been doing in this bantamweight division. And hell, he probably would have been the champ a lot sooner if he wanted to fight his friend and his uh training partner Aljo. But being a true friend, he did not force the issue. He did not want to fight Aljo, and he let Aljo do his thing and have his title run and move up to featherweight before he actually wanted to contend and get a title shot. And he waited that out and still put on a run. Hell of a winning streak. He's going for the record. I don't know what match to make next that would be compelling or that we would want to see. The only thing left out there is the Umar rematch. That's really it. That's the only compelling matchup in the bantamweight division for Merab right now. So we'll see how that shakes out, and we'll see what's going on in bantamweight. But Merab, bantamweight goat, is signed, sealed, and delivered. No cap. Um, they ain't got shit for him. And yeah, that's that. So on up to the main event of the evening. Alex Poatan Pereira versus Magamed Ankalaev. And this was another fight that I thought I knew I picked Pereira. I felt like he would have won. My pick with Corey Sandhagen was more of a just um a a biased pick. Deep down inside, I kind of knew that Corey Sandhagen couldn't beat Merab, but I got a thing for underdogs and going for the underdogs sometimes against my better judgment. I'm working on that, trying to be more objective in these predictions and breakdowns, and stray away from riding with my feelings. But I picked Pereira. I was riding with Pereira. I felt like he was gonna win this one. But I did think the fight was going to be a lot more competitive. I did think it would at least last 3 rounds. But Poatan came out with the smoke. He wanted all the smoke. Came out in the first round. Put the pressure on Magamed. Got him backed up against the cage and started throwing. Caught him with a right hook that stunned him. Magamed tried to shoot. He was unsuccessful. And Pereira held him down and defeated him with ground and pound elbows to the body, to the head, hammer fist, and got Magomed Ankalaev up out of there. Didn't take a scratch. This is astounding. What Pereira is doing in the UFC is super commendable. This dude is like that. He is one of them ones, guys. One of them ones. And it is great to see his story, where he came from, how he came up in Brazil out of the tire shop, was an alcoholic, turned his life around, stopped drinking and started fully focusing on mixed martial arts, kickboxing and MMA. Came back, um, got the title at middleweight division with his former foe slash friend Israel Adesanya. Moved up to light heavyweight, ran through the division, got the belt, defended it 3 or 4 times, lost 3 times, lost it, then got it right back against Ankalaev, who is no slouch. And Pereira is wanting to move up to the heavyweight division. And like I said, if he pulls this off, if he goes up to heavyweight and is able to beat one of the best heavyweights there is, and Tom Aspinall, who is cementing his legacy now and trying to write his legacy as one of the best heavyweights ever. I mean, the guy hardly has any ring time in the cage throughout all his fights because he gets his opponents out of there so quick. I don't think he's ever seen a late last minute in the first round. It's incredible. And I'm ready to see Aspinall fight again, him and Gon. That'll be a good fight. But if Pereira moves up and does this, he's cemented. Like that's GOAT status. Arguably go to the MMA. I would put him above John Jones. I would probably put that above Silva, Anderson Silva, because this is an accomplishment that has never been done. And Merab is making his argument too as well. If he rings off a whole lot more title defenses, he's arguably, but they're already GOATs in the sport and will be GOATs with what they have accomplished so far. But yeah, that was a great main event, great card, UFC 320. Um, I'll be back in with some more content this week. I'm gonna try to get out a video on a UFC topic that's not about directly breaking down the fights or giving my opinion or breakdowns of the fight, some other content. But guys, it's been good. D Scott, Hardcore Casual MMA. I'm out of here. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment. We're on our way. We're trying to get 100 subscribers. I'm grinding. I'm putting videos out every week. Fuck with me. D Scott, Hardcore Casual MMA. I'm out. Peace.